What's up, everybody? Welcome to Queer Girl Straight Skates. It's the Going Down Hills series part 2. Today we're talking about carving. Queer Girl Straight Skates is a YouTube channel all about roller skating. So if you want to learn how to roller skate, or if you like roller skating, then hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell because I put out new videos every Tuesday and they're freaking awesome. Today, we are learning how to carve down a hill. This is definitely my go-to for going down hills because you can decide to get the amount of speed or to slow yourself down using the width of your carves, using the distance that you choose, so you have a lot of control when you are carving down a hill. That being said, carving requires some skills that you need to have pretty solid before you try it. I would definitely say this is more of an intermediate way to get down a hill. The first thing that you definitely need to know how to do is you need to know how to stop on a dime. You need to know how to stop really quickly. The best way to stop when you're carving, especially carving down a hill, is to do a turnaround toe stop. If you don't know how to quickly turn around toe stop, practice that, do a lot of that, and then come back and learn how to carve down a hill. The reason why that is because a lot of times when you carve down a hill, at the bottom, there's some sort of something that is dangerous. So whether it is an intersection where cars may be coming across, or there might be a car that ends up coming up the hill or down the hill, either way, there's often something that you need to be able to stop quickly in order to avoid either hurting yourself or harming someone else. So make sure that you know how to do that. Also, make sure that your toe stops are very, very tight. Make sure that you're able to rely on them. And then the final thing is that you really should be comfortable in the stance, right? So one leg forward, it could be your right foot or your left foot, doesn't matter. So it could look like this, or it could look like this. And you wanna have your knees very bent, and you're gonna be turning to the right and to the left. So you need to feel comfortable being able to move back and forth like that, because that's what's controlling where you're going, how fast you're going, etc. When we're talking about carving down a hill, there are multiple options for carving. Okay, I'm gonna go to the left first when I'm doing this carve. And for me, I like to actually switch feet that are in front. It's more like dynamic for me. So when I carve, I like to switch my feet and be pointed the inside leg towards the direction I'm going, and then switch, like, so I'm going to the right, I have my right foot forward. I'm going to the left, I have my left foot forward. But not everyone likes to do that. You might have one foot that you like going forward the most, but what you're gonna really notice is that my legs are really bent and that my legs are always staggered. My legs are never right next to each other because that's where you're gonna run into problems. So I'm gonna go to the left, and then when I'm moving to the right, my right foot is forward, and then to the left, my left foot is forward. I'm really leaning into the curve. So I'm making really big carves right here. There are small carves, and when you're doing small carves, you're actually gonna go quicker. When you're doing big carves, what you're doing is you're gonna end up slowing yourself down. And what you're doing, if you imagine that the street is, straight, and then you're the skater, and you can either, instead of going all the way straight down, which is hill bombing, when you're carving, you're going back and forth and making kind of an S movement, like a snake. So you're going down a hill like as if you were a snake going back and forth. And when you get too much speed, you can turn and curve up the hill, and that's gonna take that speed away. And then all of a sudden I'm stopped, even though I was going so fast just now. If you're going too slow, you can make your carves smaller, so a smaller little snake, and that's gonna make you go faster. Okay, so this is what a wide carve looks like. Potentially taking up like all the street, like going this much. Wide carves. Look how long I'm taking in each position. Okay, so now let's imagine that we only have access to half of the road, meaning that there are people over on that side, like there's a car coming up, and we only have half, and that would be another exhibit of like a tight curve. So when you're doing a carve that's tight, you're only taking up a little bit of the area, but you're still carving. Like I'm still carving and I'm digging deep into it, but I'm only taking up a small amount of space. This is what a short carve looks like. See the difference? One tip that is really helpful to me is to lean down into whatever direction I'm going. So if I'm carving to the right, I lean to the right and I face to the right. If I'm carving to the left, I'm leaning to the left, I'm facing to the left. And so I'm really allowing that direction and speed to take me.
But be careful because there's no right turn.
Be careful because, yeah, there is no right turns here. Wow, that totally got me. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna try it. All right, so I'm gonna carve down this hill. I'm gonna lean to the left and then to the right, and then we're gonna control our speed that way. But then if I wanted to make a small carve, it could look like this. If you're doing big carves, it's gonna slow you down. If you're doing small carves, you're gonna go really fast. So let me demonstrate to you what just like a small carve looks like. But the most important thing really is not being scared of it, because when you're scared of carving, then you're gonna tense yourself up. And the more tense you are, the more difficult it's actually going to be. You kind of wanna be a little bit more loose in your body when you're doing carves. And there is a chance that you're gonna end up going really fast and you might get the wobbles. When you get the wobbles, that means that your feet your legs kind of feel a little shaky. You feel like you have noodle legs. And so just be aware that that might happen. If you start getting the wobbles, I would recommend slowing yourself down or stopping. That way you can regain your power over your body and continue going. When you're carving, you will be in a better position if you have your trucks a little bit looser. And the reason why that is because you're really depending on your edges and you're leaning back and forth in order to guide you. So if you're struggling with carving, whether it be in the bowl or going down a hill, try loosening your trucks a little bit, and that might actually help you. A lot of skaters prefer to have looser trucks if they're carving down a hill or carving in a bowl or what have you. So remember, if you end up in a spot where you're going too fast, you might get like a little bit of noodle legs, a little bit of wiggle, and just find your way to slow yourself down, whether it's to circle back up your carve up the hill or to turn around toe stop and then start again. And just know that you have complete power over your body. The lower that you are in the carve, the easier it's gonna be for you, the more stable you're gonna feel, and the closer you are to the ground, just in case you do happen to wipe out. So that's carving. Let me know if you have any questions about carving down in the comments below and I can expand upon it. And stay tuned for our next episode where we talk about hill bombing. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Queer Girl Straight Skates. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to support this channel, go ahead and go on over to www.cheerstothequeers.com, where I sell lots of cool stuff like beanies and laces and jewelry and earrings and all sorts of fun stuff. And every purchase you make from there helps to make this channel a reality. But more importantly than that, cheers to the queers! Yay!